Hi, this is Bobby Feisee, attorney with Insight Law, and this topic is proactive elder law. So, elder law has been getting a lot of press lately because we are, uh, as a society, growing older, and there's a lot with regard to medical science, and people are living longer. And if you get stricken with a long term care illness like stroke or Alzheimer's, to either get home care or go into a nursing home, we're looking at $7,000 a month up to $20,000 a month, depending on the type of care, the location that you're at. And those numbers provide or are serious impact to most people's financial plans. So one area or component of elder law that I think people oftentimes mistake for elder law is Medicaid planning, is where you basically divest yourself of all your assets and apply for Medicaid, which often gets confused with Medicare. And Medicaid is a government-sponsored, it's a government program administered through the states that actually will pay for long-term care services if you can actually prove that you don't have adequate resources of your own. Now, that in itself has been growing a growing area, and that is usually a place of last resort that I would find for my clients. And that Medicaid planning, Medicaid beds, you're usually sharing rooms. The quality of care is not as good as if you could self-insure or had some other type of program that you've thought through. And the idea behind the proactive elder law program is to not just be in a reactive state where something happens to mom or dad and then the family is scrambling in financial issues, healthcare issues, emotional. It's a lot of major issues that you're dealing with during a grieving process or during a loved one's disability. I find that's not the way to really plan for this. And so proactive preparation, proactive elder law, I find is a better way to do it. And our outline or overview, and it's in the family organizer, is getting the helpers, and helpers are the family members, educated before something happens so that if something happens to mom or dad, whether it be stroke or Alzheimer's, they know who the law firm is. We've actually talked through some of the issues before. We've thought through some of the financial issues as well so that we're not blindsided by these topics. So this is a family type of program, and the helpers should be involved with that. So it doesn't matter that you have to come to the events live. We're going to be providing these education events as part of our Insight Law Maintenance Program. We also do these on video as well. We also offer a special delivery service where, as our clients are getting older, if they can't attend live a lot of the events, or if there's a disability, as a law firm, how do we keep the plan updated, keep the family educated, even after a client has become disabled? And so things like who will receive your mail, who checks your mail. We want to make sure that you're getting the correspondence. If we want to do family listservs for email to make sure that everyone in the family is on the same page and they know who the law firm is. And what family member will be what we call the scout that will come to the education programs and make sure that we communicate as the point of contact that on the person that we can work with. We also do a lot of helper training as well. For example, we will do the Nuts and Bolts series. Our Nuts and Bolts series goes from 1 to 4. Trustee training, Nuts and Bolts 1, is an overview of our education program and helper program. Nuts and Bolts 2 is wealth transfer or death settlement, how the steps that are involved when a loved one passes away. Nuts and Bolts 3 is disability planning, how we deal with clients' disability on the legal side. And then Nuts and Bolts 4 is the Empowered Inheritance Program, how the beneficiaries can most protect and receive their wealth. The main elements to our proactive elder law program are basically that the helpers and the family need to know how, as a law firm, we work with our clients. And there's really 4 main tools that you need to be aware of. Number 1 is the asset review report. So if there's a disability or death, especially in a disability situation, as assets start to go below certain levels, and maybe it's because of healthcare costs, We want to make sure that we are getting ahead of any issues. And if we do need to get you qualified for Medicaid, there is currently a 5-year type of window or clock where you have to move assets. So if we can get ahead of the ball, we can protect a lot of your assets. If you let us know earlier if there is a disability, we can maybe protect the house, protect investment accounts, real estate. Just depends on the specific situation and how soon we are alerted to that disability. Number 2 is the estate planning review worksheet. That's another tool that we use, and that's how we communicate your personal instructions. It's an executive summary. It's also located in the family organizer, our client organizers. Number 3 is you need to know what a trust protector is. That's beyond the scope of this program. We do allude to the trust protector. We have other videos, and we do go into deeper issues with regard to the trust protector in our disability and death settlement programs. And know when to seek additional counseling. If you do suspect a disability, we have a specific process here: when, who, what. When you become disabled, we have a disability panel. Or there's a family issue, like dad is refusing to give up the car keys and he shouldn't be driving anymore. How do we think through those real life issues? So we have done this before on our end. We have legal processes. We actually work with geriatric care managers as well, so we can support you through those challenging times. And elder law is not just about Medicaid planning. It's about dealing with the legal and financial issues of growing older and having to deal with maybe a disability and the like. And what are your options? Medicare options, Medicaid options, financial options, legal options. We'll work with your advisors. We do not sell financial products with regard to these types of planning, but we will work and collaborate with your team of advisors to make sure that you and your family are protected. We will also, as part of our Proactive Elder Law program, we do a competency check-in. We'll check in with your family, check in with you to make sure that things are still going okay. And we do have a lot of this information laid out in greater detail in your family organizer. It is the white binder. In our firm, there are 2 main binders that we use. The red binder is where all the legal documents are stored. And the white family client organizers is how you work with a law firm. Thank you very much. It's been Bobby Feisee, President and Attorney with Insight Law.